Welcome back to my Super Metroid 100% item collection rate guide and walkthrough. We are now currently going through Lower Norfair, otherwise known as Lower Not Fair Norfair. So this area is a little bit of a conundrum as far as I'm concerned, but thankfully it's not much bigger than regular Not Fair Norfair, but there is something you do need to be aware of. Apparently, according to Trav Guy, who did not really do a good job putting a pretty good joke into there. Before we get there, I should mention in my addendum to this story, when I was talking about my last part about the Switch Online version, apparently you need to do something in order to activate this golden chorizo. Apparently there's something within the game's code that does not allow you to just, well, have your Morph Ball ability to lower the lava. They'll let you proceed. Now, apparently if you hold down a sequence of buttons, it will apparently cause the game to go into some weird debug mode that can kind of break your save. I'm not really sure why this is, but it's a really weird bug that I never really bothered doing since it just seems like a recipe for disaster. I am not sorry for that obvious RuneScape joke. But anyway, you'll want to make sure you grab this missile here, because if you don't, you're going to have to run all the way back, and running back is a bitch. And now we have the Golden Chorizo boss, who is wonderfully placed. You have to move down in order for it to trigger. Now, this dude's a bit of an asshole. First of all, he's gold. And he will reflect your super missiles back, and if you attempt to shoot him with regular missiles, he'll just dodge it. So just spam all your super missiles until he's dead. He will do a little bit of damage, but if you're going for 100% guide, you'll kill him long before you've even had a chance to fight him. Now, if you want to cheese him, quote unquote, you can lure him all the way to the right, and his attacks can't hurt you, and you can use the charge beam to slowly but surely kill him. This takes a little longer, but it can be done. So make sure you try it if you haven't done it. It's actually kind of an interesting little trick that you can utilize to beat the game faster, or slower, or more competently. Anyway, we'll finally get the last ability that you'll probably be getting: Screw Attack! Shut your face! Anyway, after that ass kicking you'll probably get, because that boss can be a little bit of a pushover, there is a very conveniently placed energy station, so make good use of that, and well, just move on your very merry way. Very merry way. The Screw Attack can essentially destroy the objects that would normally require a beam, but this pretty much takes good work of that, so you are pretty much invincible now. You pretty much all the abilities in the game, although there is still a couple more expansions left to go, but there really isn't anything left to uncover after this video, since at that point the only thing left to cover is, well, Torian, and of course the end game, which I should mention. I'm going to mention this again in the final video. Once you go through Torian, in a very specific instance, there is no going back unless you use a particular glitch, which I wouldn't really think works, since I think that can also screw up your save data if you attempt to do it, but I just usually use a pro action replay code or some shit and just call it a day. But I'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to it. So go up here, watch out for these golden space parts. They can only be killed by the Screw Attack. They're pretty much invincible. Why Ridley doesn't have these fuckers lying around anywhere would be my best guess. It's probably called game progression, excuse me. Anyway, I do make a little bit of an oopsie here, so you're going to be seeing a little bit of a fade, but you'll want to bomb that wall and then just carefully make your way all the way to the left in order to grab this cheeky little missile down here. This one is very easy to miss, and if you miss, you're going to have to go through all those rooms again, and you do not want to do that if you're doing a speedrun. I'm pretty sure Zosti missed that once, and he kind of got pissed off. I don't blame him, because that shit is a bitch. Now, of course, if you do fail to do the somersault move, which will help you get out of this room faster, that's not too bad, since there is a grade door that will be locked initially to beat all the enemies. So if you manage to leave here a little faster, you will save yourself a lot of time and maybe a little bit of a headache, but I would not blame you if you had to go through that little circle of rooms. But just something to keep in mind in case you ever speedrun this game, which, honestly, speedrunning this game is pretty fun. Again, as I mentioned, I don't really see myself playing this a lot unless I'm in the mood for a classic. Of course, Meridia just completely draining my energy a bit, but even after playing it recently on the Switch, it's pretty alright. And the rewind feature lets me get a lower time than I ever thought, because as much as I like making save states, rewinding pretty much, at least on Switch, pretty much lets you make even more mistakes. than one normally intends, although I still don't really like playing on that damn thing, but it's nice for a little car ride, although it absolutely does fucking suck. You have to fucking pay money for a service that should already be included, or if they're gonna at least make us pay for old-ass simulation games, make it cheap, make the emulation decent, and let us pick the damn games that we want. I am not gonna go into the fucking whole Earthbound controversy, because it is not worth derailing this whole guide and walkthrough for stupid, petty drama bullshit. But here's another energy tank, and a very clever reincarnation of Ridley, and I assume some sort of tile from regular Not Fair Nor Fair. So keep that in mind, and we're going to be getting the rest of the items here. Now, you could theoretically come back here later if you want to absolutely save time, because I want to make sure that I have everything done before fighting Ridley, besides one energy tank that you have to get after beating him in a room that's pretty much the most plot expedition that you're ever going to get in this game, as I, stupid-ass me, blow a fucking hole in the wall, G, because you're not supposed to go there yet. But we will come back in a little bit to get that wonderful item, but do go over here, because there is actually, I think it might be here or a room above. Yeah, I think it might be above, or it might be in the next room, I think. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I just actually edited this footage, and I don't remember. Jesus Christ, I gotta get to bed. But I can't, because I got shit to do, and, well, this guy's gotta get out there, so fuck it. I'm commentating over it. Get this little, once again, another fucking missile tank. The last one we're gonna get is actually the path we're gonna go in order to get to the shortcut to leave Not Fair Nor Fair, and I'm not sorry for the jokes I'll be making. Just go ahead and keep using the spring ball in order to make your way through until you reach down there, and then, well, blow up another hole in the wall, G, and, well, just go down here. Make sure you stick to the, I believe the right? Yeah, make sure you blow those up and then get those power bombs, and I believe that is the last power bomb, or actually there might be one more, but we should have, I think there's only one more in the game, or something, but whatever it is, I think there's one more power bomb. We have all the super missiles, I think. We have gotten every single one, and me, stupid dumbass, me think, what the fuck are you doing, pleb? You are fucking dumb and stupid. You are not going the right way. Fucking asshole. But go ahead through here. We're going to be going through a little cheeky pathway below. Or actually, no, I'm actually getting the last missile expansion, actually. So yeah, I am so desperate for time that I'm completely forgetting my own routes. How fucking sad is that? But once you go through here, there is a lava room, which you'll want to avoid. I know damage isn't really much of a big deal since this is a 100% item collection rate guide and walkthrough, but, you know, even with all the abilities in the world, you'll still probably die if you're not careful, so... And the lava can be a real bitch, so take care of that. Anyway, we have now collected all of the missiles. If you have 230 in stock, that means you have collected every single missile in the game. And I tip my hat off to you, good sir, or madam, or non-binary person. Excuse me, sorry. There are these little fuckers here, but I don't know why the hell I'm engaging them when they're just kind of wasting some more time. They're not even really as bad as the ones in the wrecked ship, but there they are. We will come back here later since the map has showed us that that is where we'll be headed to, but since we haven't defeated Ridley yet, we're gonna go take care of that bastard right now. He's been having it for too long, and we gotta go put a stop to it, but there is one room in the game that might cause to be a little bit of an infamous section of lower Not Fair Nor Fair, and that is the Kung Fu Space Pirates, as I like to call them. Everybody's Kung Fu fighting. Please don't let me get copyright claim for that. It's just a fucking me singing the song. Come on now, Susan. Don't be a bitch. Too late. Anyway, go ahead and go through here again, but instead of going through that little door, we're going to want to go fully down into the depths, the dirty, dirty depths. There is a save room nearby, although I would recommend getting it if you're not confident, but because I am a pretty confident player in this game, I would assume, I will be not taking it since, well, coming back here just to make a save is kind of dumb. So I won't be taking it, but do take it if you need that save room. Which is the door I just shot at, so... Again, take it. It's not too bad, but this video is pretty short since it's just Ridley and, of course, the Kung Fu Space Pirate section, which is coming up. And, of course, the last video will, of course, be, you know, well... fucking well, the brain and the end game. So there is one more item to get, and that is the, I believe, the power bomb. One last power bomb, but first make sure you take care of those fuckers. They're quite tanky, and they can do a lot of damage if you're not careful. Even with the gravity suit, you will still get a lot of damage, so don't mess around with them. They'll prove to be very worrisome. So get your last power bomb in the game. If you have 50 super missiles and 50 power bombs, you have collected both of them, and I once again tip off my hat to you, sir, madam, or non-binary person, because you've earned it, because this game is pretty damn hard. And I can't imagine people playing this back in 1994, trying to play this without a guide, but you know how it is. But anyway, go ahead and shoot the green door, and we're going to be fighting these pirates. I'll have to talk some strategy, so listen up. These pirates are completely immune to everything, and the only thing that will kill them is when they do this little dive kick, and they'll glow yellow for a second, which you'll see right there, but I messed up, but thankfully they don't regenerate to health. They like to do this thing where they throw their arms at you, I think, and they also do some bullshit. So, I don't quite know how you're supposed to combat these dudes, but if you want to be an asshole, you can just wait for them to shoot their shit, or wait for them to do that. I don't know. I think you have to kill them before they turn back, because I'm using a bunch of super missiles, so I don't know. Maybe the plasma beam just doesn't cut it, but use your super missiles on them. It's a little bit of a hassle, but once you know the timing of it, it's not that bad. I don't know if Metroid does as a sequence like this, and please don't spoil it unless the video upload date is a little bit older. You know, let the game be alive for a little bit, and then you can tell me, or I'll probably find on my own. But anyway, there's just 2 more rooms to go, and of course it's a recreation of the room from the NES game, which is a cool little throwback. Shoot this boss door, and then we're gonna go back, having some sexy Double Dragon 2 music, the remix of the second mission in the game, one of my favorite NES games of all time, next to Kirby's Adventure. I know it's an arcade game. Well, it was an arcade game before the NES, but that game is so fucking good. But make sure your health is at maximum along with your missile count. Both missile counts, you'll want to make sure you're maxing everything, because Ridley is no joke of a fight. Even with trying to fight this fucker at the lowest possible setting, I had to use the rewind so many times because I just got completely fucking decimated, and it was not an easy task. So you want to make sure your energy is at max it can be, and of course having the reserve, which I have not had to use once, but you can also use it again as a form of manual healing, or you can just, well, use it for all your good stuff. So, because I didn't have enough power bombs, I went back and made sure that all my health was full, and I didn't go into a heck of damage. I think I messed up, but I did get it, so there we go. Time to fight Ridley, and guess what time it is? Engage Ridley, motherfucker, for realsies. Okay, strategy. His tail hurts like a bitch, and the arena is fucking small as hell. Like, small. And you know what kind of small I'm talking about. Anyway, make sure you pump super missiles, but only when he's on screen. Do not needlessly spam missiles. You need to pump every last missile you got in this motherfucker. Seriously, if you keep firing like an asshole, you're just gonna get blasted. You don't want to be a master of blasting. You want to be a blaster master. But anyway, keep pumping missiles on him. If you want to be an asshole and tank hits while in the lava, you can do so. Although I must warn you, you'll take a lot of damage when doing this, so only do this if you have plenty of energy to spare. Now, apparently, if Ridley grabs you, you'll somehow end the fight, but I'm not quite sure how this was supposed to work. I actually come pretty close to dying, and I think he's supposed to grab you to end the fight, but some way, somehow he explodes. I'm not quite sure how his death sequence is supposed to work, but once you pump enough missiles and I guess he tries to grab you, then the fight will end. I don't know. I swear to God, Ridley needs to take messages from Master Chief if he can't even learn to die right. Or, actually no, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Shit. He needs to take lessons from fucking Revolver Ocelot. Can't you even die right? When confronting Gray Fox. Seriously, this scene is so fucking good. Anyway, shoot that wall and you'll see that the Metroid hatchling is broken, which means that something has happened. Although if you probably sequence break this game, then it really shouldn't make much of a difference. But considering that people are probably going to be doing that back in '94, this was probably the biggest holy shit moment in the game. Even if a game like this has minimal storytelling, it still somehow is much better story than almost any fucking AAA game that tries to tell itself as a serious narrative-driven game. It is honestly kind of low-key sad. But since we're taking care of the Kung Fu Space Pirates, we can breeze through them so you don't have to fight them again. Metroid Fusion makes you fight them again if you try to go back to a particular point, which is kind of fucking stupid. But they're not as bad since you just, you know, shoot them in the back and you're pretty much done for. I don't know if there's a section like that in Dread. Again, I'm not sure. I don't think Zero Mission is anything like that. I know there's those black space parts who are somehow more aggressive and harder to fight. And somehow they're all named Ben. I don't know, they're just fucking annoying, but I don't think you actually fight them until the end of the game. I'm not sure, don't at me. But all I know is that they're fucking assholes. But anyway, go ahead and retrace your steps back to that save room. We're going to save the game, and in the final video, we're going to be talking about Torian, some other things about what I feel about Torian, and my, once again, overall thoughts on the end game of Super Metroid. This could essentially be the end of the guide, but because I want to show off the final boss and the ending, I'm going to mark that as the true final ending since, well, you've already got your 100%, so you're pretty much free to explore and whatever, do whatever the fuck you want. Because this is a guide and walkthrough, we have to see this at the end. So join me in the final installment of this guide and walkthrough where we take down Torian. Fuck. Where we take down Mother Brain, go through Torian, and make sure that Planet Zebes is dead once again. Thank you for watching, and you take care.